Chosen one, chosen one, chosen one. Tell your mama, tell your sister, tell your friend, tell your cousin. We are back, y'all, with another one.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So listen, I'm going to get straight into the video because I don't want to hold you no longer than I have to. What season are you in? What season are you in? It is so imperative that we know what season we are in, y'all. Listen, I came across a channel, a young lady called Shannon Wells, Wells. And I know it was nobody but God who brought this lady across my path on YouTube. So as I opened up the app and I saw her, it was talking about being in different seasons of this journey. Are you in Egypt? Are you in the wilderness? Are you in your promised land? Y'all, please go check her out. I'm just piggybacking off of what she said because I know that God brought her through my path for a reason, for the assignment that I have. So I just want to share this with y'all. But y'all, please check her out, Shannon Wells. So listen, when you are in the season of Egypt, that bondage season, that's the season where we were all walking in darkness. We had no clue who we were. And so many people had us wrapped up and tied up in their foolishness. So many people had spoken things over us that we did not realize we were carrying those things and that we were making them our reality. We were in bondage to these people. I don't care if it was your family, a spouse, a friend, whoever it is. These manipulators, these narcissist people, they're cheaters, they're fakes, they're snakes. And we were in bondage to these people. But then God flipped that light on. He flipped that switch on and you woke up. You realized that you were in bondage. You realized the things they had been saying and doing to you. God exposed them people. When your light lit up, it lit up everything around you. So everybody that was not for you was exposed. And so then they start falling off. These people start being moved away from you. There's different atmospheres that you were in. You were pulled away from those things because they no longer served you. Then you crossed over into your wilderness season. So in this wilderness season, y'all, sometimes when I release messages, it's about the wilderness, it's about bondage, it's about the promised land. All of these things just trying to give you hope in this walk. So sometimes some of these messages you will hear and you will like, thank God I'm no longer in bondage to that thing. Thank God I no longer feel that way about this person, that person. You're no longer in Egypt. You're now in your wilderness season. When I first started this channel, there were so many people coming across my channel saying they've been in isolation for years. This isolation season, y'all, is considered the wilderness. It's considered the wilderness. And in this, you're supposed to be transformed, renewed. In this season right here is where God starts tearing down all this stuff. It's no longer really about the enemy on the outside, but it's the enemy within. How you think, what's in your heart, those spots and blemishes God is trying to clear up. And sometimes we will find ourselves wandering in the wilderness far too long because we will not surrender to what God is trying to do. He knows the things that you're struggling with, that you battle with, and he have to tear that off you before you cross over into your promised land. Some of you may have been struggling with pride. You're used to looking good. You're used to having your car, your house, whatever it may be, your money, and you took pride in that. And the moment you said, yes, God, the moment you surrendered to him, the moment you stepped over into this wilderness, he like, now I want to strip this stuff away from you. This material stuff is not who you worship. I want you to know that I am your provider. And so some of you trying to hold on to this stuff and you fighting against the very thing that God is trying to strip away from you. You're still going out getting loans. You're still going out trying to figure out how to rob Peter to pay Paul. And God is like, just surrender it to me. Give it to me. It might be uncomfortable that I have to strip you down to almost nothing, but he descends you before he ascends you. He had to do it himself. Jesus had to go through that too. He descended before he ascended. The same thing with you. And so people will tell you, don't worry about the how. That's true. But in the wilderness season, you need to get to a point where you're saying, God, how do you want me to show up in this situation? How do you want me to interact with these people? How do you want me to move about on this job? What is it you're trying to teach me? See, sometimes we be praying that God just remove the thing. God just take me out of here. God just pay for it. But God, like, I want you to get the lesson in this. And once you learn the lesson, then I can move on. Then you can move on. Some of us have been in the wilderness far too long, and we don't realize that we're fighting against God. We're fighting against him. Some of us may have anger issues, anger management. We need to go through that. And God is trying to pull that stuff off of us. So he's going to sit you right in the midst of people that irritate you, annoy you. And you like, God, please get me out of here. Move me, move me, move me. And God like, I want you to sit right here and ask me, how can I overcome this? I will give you the instructions. God is so strategic. You are his chosen vessel. He's going to make sure you come out on top. But start asking him to help you, show you. Instead of running from the situation, ask him, how can I overcome this? Give me the instructions. Give me the strategy. Give me the strength, the endurance to fight. It's this wilderness season where we get stuck, y'all. And so if you hear some of these messages and you're like, oh, that don't bother me no more. That's that stuff back there in bondage. That stuff that people did to me and stuff, that don't bother me. Good. You have conquered that season. You're now in the wilderness. Now what are you going to do with that stuff that's working within? Here, what you're watching, what you're listening to, that's causing you to stay in this position. And y'all, I'm saying this in love because when God brought that video across me, that was for me too. That was an aha moment for me too. And y'all may look at me and feel like, I'm doing this and doing that. But y'all listen, we all in the wilderness. Some of us are just at different levels of this thing. Some of us really know what it is. All we have is that small little thing that God is trying to get us to just, that's that small little thing. He like, I need you to let this go and then you can move on. So then he takes you into the promised land. If y'all don't realize, all this stuff is here. All this stuff has to do with here. Being transformed by the renewing of your mind. The Bible says it is with the mind that we serve the Lord. So the more he transformed this right here, the more you can elevate. The more you can move on. That's what the devil torments you with, this. In all of these things, these seasons, Egypt, bondage, wilderness, promised land, it all has to do with the way that you think. God wants you to know that his ways are not your ways. His thoughts are not your thoughts. So sometimes you can't fathom why he would break you down in such a way, why he would tell you to move, why he would tell you to do this. And it does not make sense to you, but it's not supposed to. All he wants you to do is be obedient to it, surrender to it, trust him in the process. Know that if he did it before, he's going to do it this time. He brought you out before, he's going to bring you out this time. So when you step over into your promised land, it's another transition in your mind. That promised land is where you stand and you trust that God is going to wholeheartedly take care of you. You're no longer dependent on this world for nothing. You're dependent on man for nothing. You're trusting God in everything. He brings you into your purpose. He brings you into your promised land. Some of you are literally moving over into a whole new territory, physically. And when God say move, baby, you move. You've been through all this stuff in the past and you know his voice. You know that he took care of you. He tested you. He tried you. You know now. So there's no need for you to get to the end of the end of your breakthrough and start doubting. There's seasons to this stuff. There's levels to this thing. There's levels to it, y'all. And God will send some destiny helpers in your way just to wake you up, just to remind you, just to motivate you, inspire you, and let you know that you can do it. But also make you aware of where you are with this thing. So you can know what you need to be doing right now. You won't have to wander in the wilderness for years and years and years. It was never God's will for the Israelites to be in the wilderness 40 years. They were murmuring, complaining. Moses was trying to lead them and they were murmuring, complaining to the point that they made him upset. He started getting the attitude. Know the season that you're in. Know the season that you're in so that you will know how to fight. You'll know how to show up. You'll know that this thing is temporary once you surrender to everything he's telling you to do. I love y'all so much. If y'all can, please go check out Shannon Wells, Wells. I absolutely was blessed by her video. So I'm just putting my 2 cents in, y'all, because I know that that was for me. And so I'm sharing the information in hopes that it will bless somebody else, in hopes that it will bring you up out of that bondage, in hopes that it'll push you further in this wilderness season, in hopes that you will step over into your promised land. That's what it's all about. Welcome to all my new family. Welcome to the Walk Heavy family, y'all. That's exactly what we're doing. We're walking heavy in each season. We trust in God in each season. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all to all of you who've been sowing seeds. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. I pray that God continues to bless your coming and going, the works of your hands. Please know that I love all of you. Commenting, sharing, all of that, y'all. I love y'all so much. Until next time, y'all be easy. Peace.